Penguin Random House Audio presents Hounding a Killer by Kallie E. Benjamin. Read for you by Dara Brown. In loving memory of my parents, Benjamin, November 2nd, 1938 to December 21st, 2023, and Elvira, October 12th, 1938 to January 24th, 2013, Burns, for your love, support, encouragement, and prayers. Crosbyville Annual Fall Festival. Saturday. From 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., there will be games, food, and rides at the Old Dairy Barn. From 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., there will be show jumping at the Equestrian Center. From 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., there will be dressage at the Equestrian Center. From 12 p.m. to 2 p.m., there will be search and rescue at the outbuildings. From 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., there will be pony rides and hay rides at the stables. Sunday. From 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., there will be games, food, and rides at the Old Dairy Barn. From 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., there will be a pet-assisted reading demo at the outbuildings. From 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., there will be baking contests at the cottage. From 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., there will be pony rides and hay rides at the Equestrian Center. From 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., there will be music at the stables. Chapter 1. Have you contacted the police? Anna asked. The police can't help me. I need Bailey the bloodhound to find Max before it's too late. What do you mean? Anna asked. In 3 days, Max will inherit $50 million if he appears for the reading of his late Uncle Herbert's will. So, you see, it's critical that we find him. Anna turned to her partner. What do you think? Bailey the bloodhound's gaze moved from Carrie to Anna. After a moment, he stood up and barked. Looks like Bailey the bloodhound, pet detective, is on the case, Anna said. I read out loud the words I'd just written while I sat at a picnic table waiting for Gilbert and Marcy, my boyfriend and my best friend, to get back from the food tents at the Crosbyville Fall Festival. We knew from experience that the lines at this 2-day annual festival would be crazy long. My Aunt Agatha was one of the food vendors and suggested that arriving early on the first day would improve our odds of eating before we were ready to pass out. But I wasn't so certain. Still, it's good to have a plan, so while Gilbert and Marcy braved the food lines, my dog Bailey and I secured a seat, which we also knew would be scarce as the day progressed. I loved writing outside, and today the weather was perfect. Not too hot, not too windy, and not raining. Crosbyville, Indiana had had more than its fair share of rain this fall, which had threatened to cancel the festival. However, a change of venue and a streak of good weather saved the day and the festival. Should I add that Max is a dachshund? I glanced down at Bailey, my 3-year-old bloodhound, but he didn't bother lifting his head from his paws. His dark, soulful eyes held mine for a few moments, and then he closed his always droopy lids and returned to sleep. You're not helping. We need to get this book written. My editor says if I can get this 3rd book finished by the end of the month, he can get it typeset and printed this year. Then it will be in bookstores in 6 months. And you know what that means, right? Bailey didn't budge. It means we'll get paid, which means that I can buy new tires before winter, and you, my muse, can get those expensive liver treats you like. That did it. The L word got Bailey's eyes open. He stood up and glanced around as though looking for those elusive snacks. I chuckled and scratched Bailey's floppy ears. Calm down, boy. They aren't here now. We have to finish writing The Case of the Dancing Dachshund, the next book in the adventures of Bailey the Bloodhound, first. Who are you talking to? I froze and racked my brain to remember what I'd said, apparently out loud. I turned and glanced up into the deepest blue eyes I've ever seen. Excuse me? I heard you talking and wondered if you were on the phone, but I don't see earbuds. Before I interrupted you, I was... Never mind. Are you free, love? Handsome blue eyes flashed a pearly white smile. A 30-something-year-old man with a lovely accent stared down at me. His question, "Are you free?" reminded me of the classic line from a 1970s Britcom, "Are you being served?" A love of mysteries, classic movies, and old sitcoms was one of the things my best friend, Marcella Rutherford, and I had in common. Yes, I'm free. Blue Eyes smiled. Great. My name's David. David Townsend. I'm looking for... Oh, you're David Townsend. I stared for several moments and then pulled my gaze away from the pool of blue. I shook my head to clear my thoughts and then cleared my throat. I'm sorry. It's just we've been expecting you. I mean, we've all heard you were coming and... Condolences. He tilted his head to the side and stared. Expecting me? News travels fast in a small town. Even though your grandfather didn't interact with a lot of people in the community, we all knew that he was expecting his grandson to arrive. We've all been excited to meet you. He straightened up and grinned. How well do I measure up? I expect the old man may have built me up too much. The twinkle in his eyes told me that David Townsend was fishing for a compliment. Still, the heat rising up my neck meant that I had fallen into his trap. Oh, no, you're fine. I mean, you're not a disappointment. Good. I would hate to disappoint. David Townsend laughed. Before this week, I hadn't seen the old man in years. I heard he was a recluse. He was one of the richest men in the state, well, in the country, but rarely left his house and only interacted with a small number of people. This is my first time visiting his farm. Oh, really? I assumed you knew him. Your grandfather kept to himself, but he loved my aunt's cooking. She owns the Blue Plate Special Cafe downtown. It was one of the few places that he visited regularly. He got to be good friends with my Aunt Agatha. In fact, I always thought he had a bit of a crush on her. Thank you, love. David Townsend smiled. Now, I'm supposed to be awarding the ribbons at the equestrian event, and I haven't visited the old place in donkey years. Could you perhaps give me directions? He waved an arm. The estate's massive, and I've gotten a bit turned around. Directions? Oh, you want me to... Sure. I glanced at my phone. Bailey and I need to head that way too. I promised one of my students I'd watch her in the show jumping, which starts at 10. I tucked away my notepad and pen and shoved them in my backpack. I got up from the table where I'd settled in to sneak in a little writing. Bailey stretched as though he'd just been running a marathon instead of napping under the table. He sniffed David Townsend. He didn't seem impressed. He snorted and turned his back. Bailey? David Townsend pointed. Yes. I slipped my backpack on, grabbed Bailey's leash, and headed off in the direction of the equestrian ring, which I'd seen on the festival map along with the itinerary. David Townsend matched my pace, which allowed me to steal a glance out of the corner of my eye. He was tall and thin.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?